Hello, everyone. We are so excited. We have another book dropping today. This one is We Choose Joy, which I think the title just says it all. We choose joy. I think it's so beautiful. And today I have the woman who collected the stories for We Choose Joy. This is Linda Laird Staszewski. And we're going to be talking a little bit about the book, about the stories that we're sharing in this book, and all that fun stuff, because today is launch day. So if you're watching this video on launch day, October 12th, make sure you head over to Amazon and put in We Choose Joy book. You can even type in Linda's name. You can see it there on the screen, and that'll help you find it. If you wait until the end of the video, you can just click the comment, because I will make sure I put that in the comments. Grab a copy of that book, because today only it is 99 cents for an ebook, and you can help all these amazing ladies hit bestseller status. And there's 22 people, so that's a lot of bang for your buck right there. Plus, you get to read their fantastic stories. So I'm going to stop talking, and I will let Linda introduce herself, tell you a little bit about who she is and what she does.
Well, greetings to all. I'm really thrilled to be here, and I thank you, Cori. We are very blessed to have found a publishing company, auroracorialis, that specializes not only in books, but in anthologies. So these are collaborations and stories from 22 women who are sharing their hearts and souls with their courage to show how they made it through adversity and came out finding joy. So I am a retired industrial engineer, and I lost my job at age 59. I thought, well, what am I going to do with the rest of my life now? And I was scared. I thought, I went into depression. I thought, well, where's my purpose? So being positive, I thought, time to reinvent myself. So I started 3 small businesses in 3 years. Then I started Unwavering Women Live Your Best Life, just a free Facebook page for women to connect. And then I heard of an anthology. And I thought, I want in. This is so exciting to be able to share this with other women. So I searched and searched for an anthology, and I could not find one. I'm a big prayer person. So I said, oh, Lord, please help me find the right one. And prayer people will understand this, but I felt a tap on my shoulder. And he told me, why not you? I felt instant terror, like, I can't do this. I have no idea where to begin. I just, no. And then I thought, you gave me a gift here. I've got to find a way to do it. And so I dug in. I thought, well, are these women even going to want to share in my dream? So I put it out there. Sure enough, we got 20 women for 20 Lives Ignited, how 20 women over 60 are creating success on their own terms. So that was really a super bestseller book, and we're really proud of it. So then I did it again. People were asking, are you going to do another? And I didn't know if I was, but I thought, I'll go for it. So this time it's going to be We Choose Joy, how 22 women are went beyond healing to create joyful lives, because joy is so essential, and it includes gratitude, it includes appreciation, self-growth, overcoming obstacles, and it makes you a better person to live your best life.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember like hearing some of the stories at the beginning and talking about what the title should be. And it just is so simple to say, we choose joy. And I love that. And I wanted to say too, something that you brought up. I love that your entrepreneurial spirit kind of kicked in, because you were like, this doesn't exist. Why doesn't it exist? I'll just make it myself. And I know it wasn't that simple, but I think it's something that a lot of people, when they are out searching for this thing that they know in their hearts they want to do, or they want to be a part of, or they just want it in their lives, and they say, you know what, it's my job and I'm going to do it. So I love that you did that.
Well, a lot of that was from the Coffee Club Divas. Heidi Park-Kerner was my mentor, and she really transformed my life and changed me. She gave me the courage and said, the best thing she taught me was do it afraid. And believe me, I was afraid when I did it, but it propelled me into just keep going, do these things.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and I think a lot of authors, when they start in on their chapters too, that's something that they have to say, all right, I'm a little bit nervous, but I definitely want to share this story. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to ask you, first of all, this is your second book. You mentioned the first one was 20 Lives Ignited. What inspired that book? Because that's a very specific group of women that you gathered. And then I want to talk about what inspired this next one too.
Surely. I was watching TV shows, Dr. Phil specifically, and they had a group of women on there, and they were all, they say 65. They were empty, the kids, it was empty nest time for them, and they had no purpose. And these women, one after another, were going on and on about how their lives were so listless and devoid of passion. So I thought, I want women to know that life begins at 60. You're not over when you retire. You've just started. This is the whole essence of your next life. So that's why I said, you're never too old. It's never too late to become who you want to be. And I want to inspire women, and I want them to reach out, and I want them to really think about what they want and to go for it.
Yeah.
So I just get really enthusiastic about that because I feel it so strongly.
Yeah, that was something, for those of you who aren't as familiar with the first book, 20 Lives Ignited, that was something that I think really came through with the women who joined you on this book, because I was reading through these stories, and it wasn't like, here's all the things I've learned in my life, and I'm so glad I'm here. It was like, here's all the things I've learned, and I've changed, and I've changed, and I've grown, and I've done this. And some people were starting new businesses in their 50s and 60s. Some people were like, just doing amazing things that, maybe when you're in your 20s, you're saying, all right, this is my time. But you don't realize all the different things that are going to happen on your journey that help you become who you are, and that help you grow and help you change and help you do new things. So I thought that was such an incredibly cool aspect of that book.
As did I. And that was my goal. Our goal was to help women understand that life is just beginning. It's not over, and to motivate them and to inspire them, because everyone in the first book we were all over 60.
Yeah.
I was 71 at the time. Now I'm 72, and I've only just begun. Oh, I've got so many plans.
Yay. I love it. I will be like you when I grow up.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for the second book, then you did We Choose Joy. And so these are women of all ages, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. How did they, how did you guys pull these stories together? How did you select people?
Well, the people came to me.
Mhm.
And I'd put it out there, and I was really going to stop at 20. And then I had
Yeah.
24. Then something happened with 22 of them that they just couldn't do it. So we went back to 22. So the first one was 20. The second was 22, women of all ages, because I thought, well, I had told some the last time, well, I'll do another book and you can be in that. But I had to stick to the integrity of over 60 for the first book, because I gave my word in that, and I have to stick by that. So the second is a compilation of all these different ages, and 5 of the people, or 6 from the first book, came over to the second book. And so they're in both books. So we all just talked about what we wanted to share with women, and we want to share how we all overcame some grievous, terrible traumas in our lives, and yet came through the fire and transformed ourselves. And we not only chose joy then, but we choose joy each and every day, because it's not a one-time thing. You have to choose it, and it's with attitude and gratitude. Yeah. So that's how we kind of came about it. And we did have a lot of input from all of our members into that, as well as the cover and the title.
Yeah, I love the collaboration. And I think that that's something too that I wanted to mention here. One of the really powerful things about doing these anthology books is that you have a cohort. You have, your book besties here with you, and it makes it a lot easier for people to be on this journey together. I think that when somebody else is sharing a difficult story, it kind of inspires you and helps you go, okay, if they're doing this, I can do it too. And I know them. So, what were some of the wonderful things you experienced from, bringing these women together?
Just to get to know each and every one of them, to learn about their stories. I had no idea what these women went through.
Oh yeah.
Made it through and transformed themselves through. It was transcending above it all and not letting anything pull you down, destroy your life, or designate who you were. So I was really drawn to that with these women, and grateful for those in book 1 and grateful for those in book 2. And the teamwork was just so much easier because after you get one under your belt, the teamwork was easier for book number 2.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I just loved working with them. Yes, there were tough parts. Trying to rein in 22 women to make the deadlines. That was probably the biggest one. And then the first one, it was my fear, just overcoming my own fear and also the deadlines. So those were our challenges.
Yeah. Yeah, I think anytime you do a big project, it's always the deadlines and some of the fears that you have along the way. Yeah.
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit about the story that you shared in this book?
Yes, this was a very painful story for me. And it was, I know everyone that writes, we go back into our lives, into that painful time. And again, it takes great courage. And the one I wrote was about, I married my soulmate, my husband. We're married 48 years and we're just the best of friends. He's my biggest supporter and I'm so grateful to him. So we're very blessed. But we did go through some rough times. I think into year 15 of our marriage. I had always wanted children. My sister had 7 and we had none. My husband was never ready to have children for various reasons. And then at age 38, I'm 38, I'm a year and a half older than him. He decides, okay. And I thought, this is great. So I never pictured my life without having children. So I had a miscarriage, which was more traumatic than ever after waiting all those years, because I had prayed so hard for that. And I said, just Lord, let me, if I'm not supposed to have, please just let me know, because I'm suffering so much through these years and hitting the upper age allotments. And so that was really grueling and painful, and still is to this day traumatic for me. And we grew apart as close as we were. I was angry at him for waiting so long. I kind of blamed him in my mind, which wasn't fair, but we separated and he found someone else. And that was just like the end of my world. I could cry thinking about it, but we made it through. We went to we were separated for almost a year. And we went to a group called Retrovi, and it's how to survive and recover your marriage. And it teaches you to work one-on-one, how to communicate one-on-one emotionally, so that you both are on the same page, you both understand. And we did that, and it saved our marriage. And I had suggested this to 8 other couples many 20, 30 years ago, and their marriages are still intact. So for us, all of us, it worked. And I thank God every day, because we're closer than we've ever been. Our trust is impeccably there. And no, we never did have children, but I thank God for my sister's children, because they are the ones that we have always spoiled and loved and still do. They're our family, and we're grateful to her forever for having them.
Yeah.
And I have this nurturing spirit in me, which I think comes through, which is why I want to help women.
Yes.
from all of this.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I can see that. Yeah, that is an amazing story. And I love that you're sharing something like that, because I think a lot of people do have, different challenges in their marriages, and we aren't always open about it and talking to people about it. So I think it's wonderful that that's what you chose to share about. And I love that you guys are happy and still in love and together. I love seeing your pictures on Facebook with Tom. It's so wonderful.
He's my hero. He is my hero in life.
Aw. Well, I think this is the perfect time for me to share some of the comments we're getting from our viewers. Alyssa said, Linda, you are inspiring. And Kelly said, rockstar Linda, I've only just begun.
Oh.
So, and we have a bunch of people watching. Kathy Mitchell says, praise God. And Alyssa says, you're nurturing, Linda.
Thank you. That means the world to me. I could cry right now, because that's what my whole goal was, to do this. I'm all teary now. But thank you for sharing that, because I had not seen those yet. And it means a lot to me to be able to help others.
Oh, well, I think that all those comments were very deserving. You are an amazing woman. So don't cry.
I know, I'm trying to blink.
No, I cry with my authors all the time. So we're used to that, right?
Yes, we are, especially this one with our loss.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you want to say a little bit about her?
We had the last book, we lost an author 6 days before Christmas. She was run down by a truck while she was walking home. And that was so painful. And the book had already been out, so we could not even do a dedication page to her. But her name was Tarni Falloon Isaacson, right? Israelson?
Israelson, yeah.
Thank you. And so we, R.I.P. Tarni, we were glad you were in that book. This book was truly traumatic for all because we lost Tarifa Wenrick Newer, who was in both book 1 and 2, most vivacious, positive human ever. She looked like a 30-year-old movie star, and she was 64 and so proud of it.
Yeah.
She carried that book with her everywhere she went. Everywhere she went, she'd have this in her hand, and she was our biggest seller because people would say, "Oh, what do you have there?" And the book sells itself.
Yeah.
So her goal was to sell 500 this year, and she would have done it. But we lost her in a very tragic manner. I don't know if I should say anymore. But
okay. Yeah.
It was, we all miss her so much. We did another book for her just as a tribute to her with Asia and Lunger. And then we dedicated our new book to her because she touched our lives so deeply.
Yeah. I love that we were able to work in the dedication to Tarifa. I think that was something that it meant a lot to a lot of the authors who were close with her. So it was really important. And I know I got to be close with her too over working on the 2 books with her, and she's very much missed.
The only thing that gives me solace in that is that knowing her beauty, her soul, and she will live on in these books, and her legacy will live on, and she will continue to help women, because that was her goal in life also. So for that, I'm grateful and happy.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad she got to share her story and inspire people. I think something that's so important is whenever you're writing your story is to really share it from the heart, because people can feel your energy, even, years after you've written it. So, if you are sharing your story and it's written from the heart, I know if I go back and read Tarifa's story now, I will feel her energy and feel her love in that.
I did.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you too, what is some advice that you gave your authors for writing their stories? Because a lot of these are really challenging. I know some women went back to their childhoods, or they went to like a difficult marriage, or a time in their lives when they really felt like tested. What's something you told them to help them be able to pull these difficult stories out?
Go with the story that's in your heart. If you can have the courage, because it does take courage to write it. One of our authors, they're all, it's hard to pinpoint anyone. Ella Smith lost her husband just 2 months before she started writing this book. He was a fireman, and he died from occupational I can't think of the word, health issues.
Okay.
And this girl, he was only like in his 40s, and the courage that she had to write this. And also another one that she and her husband split up, and she, through in vitro, she was conceived twins, and she had one son already, and she had to go through it all by herself. And that was so very emotional for her. And I'd say everybody, every one of them, I'm looking back at our authors, and each one did write and poured from her heart and soul to share, to help others.
Yeah, I love that. Of course, we never are excited about the challenging parts of our lives, but we always grow and learn from them. So I love that we're able to grow and learn from everybody else's experiences too. And
sorry, go ahead.
And I also wanted to say, if somebody is working on a challenging story, one of my favorite tips is to write some and then pause. Go do something you enjoy and then come back to it. There's no need to sink yourself into that story for hours or days, or however long it is that you're working on it. You want to stay in the state that you are now, in that choosing joy sort of state. But to go back and visit, it's a temporary visit, and then pull yourself back.
Exactly.
Visit and go back. Yeah.
And a lot of them, I advised them that this was therapeutic, and some of them have their own physicians and therapists, and they agreed. They said writing this is painful, but it's therapeutic. And we all came out at the end. We walked through this fire, we transcended, and we truly chose and choose daily joy. So that we want people to know that.
Yeah. And I think that's that's one of the most beautiful like mantras for a book that you could pick, is to choose joy and to continue choosing to continue choosing joy. Because if you're choosing that, if you're seeking it, if you're constantly saying, you know what, this sucks, but I know that there is hope and joy and love and all those other things out there too, then you can get through anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's temporary. If you choose it to be,
Yes.
pull
Yes.
yourself out of it.
I think it's important to recognize that we are always choosing.
We are.
And I know we've touched on this a lot, like different little snippets, but I wanted to really highlight this point. Why are books like this so important to get out to the world?
Because we all share. Not a person out there doesn't have their story, her story, his story. They have something. No one goes untouched in this life without feeling pain. So we want them to know that through our book, through our chapters, and they're easy reads because they're short chapters, and it's easy to just take each one in, but to let them know, the people that are reading this, that we made it through. And if we made it through, you can make it through too. To give them hope, to give them motivation, and to give them inspiration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think sometimes all you need is to be able to see that someone else did it and like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it too.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and talking about We Choose Joy, and also a little bit about 20 Lives Ignited, first book. I'll drop the links for both of those in the comments.
Oh, thank you. And
get those.
Major thanks to Corey Wamsley and Auroracorialis Publishing, because without them, we wouldn't be here. So we're very, very grateful to you.
Thank you. I love working with your authors. They're such amazing people.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you.
If you are trying to help us out with bestseller, make sure you click on the link in the comments for We Choose Joy. Go get your ebook copy. It's just 99 cents today only, October 12th of 2023. If you get that, that helps boost us up in the rankings and helps make 22 women a best-selling author with We Choose Joy. So I hope everyone has a beautiful day and go get yourself a book.
Thank you so, so much.